I've been keeping track of this Young Thug case, and it's fascinating. I mean, in case you don't know, Young Thug is a rapper. He's not just like a Fox News placeholder. Like that. No, he's a rapper. He's a young man that does the raps, and he's on trial right now in Fulton County, Georgia, in connection with about 50 shootings in Georgia and 1 murder, which means, if nothing else, he is guilty of missing a lot.
How do you have 49 unsuccessful shootings? He's not even racking up bystanders, by the way. Are you just shooting in the air? At 30 failed shootings, drop the gun, pick up a knife. It is much harder to miss. It's weird. I wonder what it's like in that car. I wonder what the pep talk is like. Y'all, listen. Focus up. When we see him, do not ask if that's him. It's making everybody second guess. You making him speed up. You making him not shoot. Just be quiet.
Let's see if we can do this. And they missed 30 more times. I know that's not how it goes, but it's fun to imagine. It's also crazy because this man's name is Young Thug. The last place you want to be named Young Thug is court. That's absolutely insane. For a system that loves locking up young black men to show up named Young Thug, you might as well be called Little I Did It. That's Young Thug. All right. Just blew my mind. But the person that's most fascinating to me is his lawyer. His lawyer is white, and he's like white. Yeah, he's like, you know that white where it's like somebody bleached the soul or something. Like you hit different levels of white we haven't seen before. He's the whitest person I've ever seen on camera. And his entire defense is fascinating because his defense of Young Thug is just say what Young Thug is accused of doing in his white voice, which does make it sound implausible. Because then he's like, Your Honor, my client has never busted a zip down. It's like, you know what? Now that you say it does sound ridiculous. Like, now that I hear it like that, it doesn't even sound like anybody does that. That's true. You should free this young man. I don't think I've ever heard of any. You know, this young man would never let the blicker spray. It's like, I don't even think that's real. You're right. No. And there's also the word thug. Word thug is one of the slurriest words we have that's not a slur. Like, it's not actually a slur, but it's loaded. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you copped a slur back. No. And he's named Young Thug. He's in court. Webster defines thug as a brutal or violent criminal, right? Synonymous with hooligan or troublemaker. His lawyer had a different definition. His lawyer stood in front of the judge and said, Your Honor, thug simply means truly humble under God. Honestly, bars, all right? Like, no matter what happens with the case, you need to get this man in the booth, okay? See what else he's cooking up. Fascinating. I can't see that well. Like, I don't have the best eyes. And so I had to go to Optometrist, and we gotta mix up the test a little bit. This is archaic stuff we doing right now is not okay. Like, I get you have to just, in life you have to read, so I get having the reading be part of the test and stuff. But then when you get to the smaller letters, they're trying to trick you anyway. They're like, is it a 3 or an E? It's like, don't play with me right now. This is my future we're talking about. You know, I just wish that the test was more dynamic. Like, yes, I'll read the stuff on the wall, but also, you're an eye doctor. Come up with some new ideas. Just look at me in your office and go, if I don't flinch,
clearly I can't see. You know what I mean? Just buck up at me real quick. If I don't move, I clearly need glasses. But she's an eye doctor. My eye doctor, she's an eye doctor. So you would think that being an eye doctor, you've seen people with worse eyes than me. I'm not legally blind or anything. But then I got done with the test, and she was trying to break the fact that I needed glasses to me like it was bad news or something. She was like, first of all, what is that? You know what I mean? That's for Lifetime movies. They're like that. It's so weird. So she's like, I'm surprised you can see me. I was like, that's probably the most unprofessional diagnosis I've ever gotten. And so I need glasses because I can't do contacts. I can't do it. I cannot do I cannot touch my own eye. Like, I will pass out if I have to touch I'm not a strong man. I will throw up if I have to touch my own eye. And my friends with contacts are like, it's not that bad. You get used to it. It's like, if you get used to it, then why do all my friends that wear contacts can't seem to put them in without their mouth open? Everybody I know that wear contacts, every time they going, you want to get something to eat or what? Don't act like that's normal. Everybody. Nobody has a sexy contact technique. I've never seen someone be like, and now I see it. It's always like, God, I can't do it. I'm a weak of spirit. I cannot do it. So I need glasses. And then I go to the optometrist, I don't know anything. So then I'm about to get my glasses from the optometrist. I didn't know that was a huge mark. I didn't know that was like the bottle service of glasses. It's like unnecessarily expensive to get them from the optometrist. So then I'm at the optometrist, and then she sends me out of her office to pick out some glasses. Now they got frames on frames on frames and cases and everything. They got the roller thing with the frames and everything. And so I'm looking at that. Now, I don't know much about fascia, and I don't know anything about glasses, so I need help. My doctor, busy doctoring, all right? And then the receptionist is typing. She's not helpful. So then they send this woman over to me. I don't know what she does. I think she's like an eye nurse or whatever, but she like was not busy at all. And then she comes over to help me pick out glasses. And instead of just helping me pick out glasses, instead of telling me what glasses look good on me and don't look good on me, she just started telling me what my head looked like. And that is not helpful at all. You just give me something to think about when I go home. This is terrible. So then she's like, you got kind of a Franklin, you got kind of a turtle thing going on. So yeah, we're going to have to keep you away from the big frames so you're going to look like Franklin. And I was like, I haven't tried a pair on yet, so now I'm more self-conscious than I was stepping in. And then, this is what really bothered me. So then, I was sitting, waiting to see the doctor. There was a woman, middle-aged about, sitting next to me. So she clearly a patient, right? So then she starts chiming in. She starts telling me what looks good and don't look good. And I'm like, can you see, though? Because you clearly waiting to see the doctor as well. Don't act like I'm... And instead of telling me what looked good or did not look good, they just told me every pair of glasses what black nerd from TVI looked like. Like, it was the most offensive. She's like, that's a little too artful for you right now. It's like, well, you look like Norbit. It's like, nobody was talking to you, man. You can't see. I don't know. This is not helpful at all. And I don't think we give enough credit to people with bad eyes. You know? It's people like me that make the world interesting. It is. You look at any ancient civilization, it's people like me are the reason we have mythology. Yo, I was in the woods. And I saw a half man, half horse. Thing's called a centaur. It's like, nah, it's not what you saw at all. That did not happen, I guarantee you. You saw a nigga on a horse. And your brain could not compute. You just said, half man, half horse, my eyes are never wrong. But to his credit, we did write it down and repeat it for hundreds of years. Yo, you'll never believe it. I saw a mermaid. It's a beautiful woman, half fish. And she did the like thing, and then she went down. She's gone now, but I swear I just saw her. No, you didn't. A bitch was drowning. And you didn't help.
That's what happened. Apparently, that is how the origin of the mermaid came about. It's like someone in the distance on a boat saw a sea cow really far away and thought it was like a woman, but also a fish. Which means even back then, with his bad eyes, he was like, all right, she thick. I like that. All right, come swim to daddy. I can tell I'm getting older because I finally care about ingredients. You're like, well, you young, you be eating Taco Bell off the floor and stuff. But now I'm like, how much dairy is in there? Because I have places to be tonight. I'm not half as bad as my uncle, though. My uncle found out, he's not even allergic. He just has a slight intolerance for xanthan gum. Right? If you don't know what xanthan gum is, that's fine. It's like a bonding agent. It's in a lot of candies and stuff. The point is, he will go to a restaurant with me and then ask the server if every item has xanthan gum in it, which is absolutely insane to watch. He'll be like, no. Now, there ain't no xanthan gum in that broccoli, is it? Like, there's one ingredient in the broccoli, sir. And it's broccoli. You don't need to worry. There's no xanthan gum in this corn. Why would there be xanthan gum in just a side of corn? Just skip the sides. No, it's fried chicken steak. It ain't got no xanthan gum in it. And he's always giving way too much information to the server. He's like, well, you see, like that corn will get up in my guts, so don't leave. He's like, you are ruining her day. Just please order something. Sure ain't no xanthan gum to chicken fried chicken. I was like, just order it or don't. Please. Like, the veins you get when you're trying to yell at a family member without yelling? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, but like, you're trying to stress like, shut up. And so he ordered the fried chicken steak. And it turns out there was xanthan gum in the chicken fried, which nobody could have known. That's not fair at all. I was rushing him. That's my bad. He was in the bathroom cursing me out. It's like, I got them bad guts, boy. This 70-year-old woman I saw in the news in Uganda that gave birth to twins. 7 years old, gave birth to twins. One of the oldest people on record to give birth to twins. And everyone that I worked with had their opinions about it and everything. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I'll never have to have a kid myself, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But it does seem like 70 is the perfect age to have twins. Y'all on the same sleep schedule. Y'all eat all the same foods. You both gotta be careful about falling. It's just y'all vibing out. Operating body. Now. Okay. And the middle is and at the end.
Josh, I've known you for a little bit, but and we were talking backstage. You brought someone special with you tonight.
Yeah, so
Give it up for Josh Johnson.
I don't know if y'all saw this Demure thing that's taken off. Why are y'all groaning? Oh my God. In case you don't know what it is, in case you haven't been alive for the past couple weeks, Demure is this one TikTok started this whole thing. It's not like a whole group of people. It's not like somebody super famous already said something. There's this one TikTok by this creator named Jules LeBron that was just sort of getting ready for work and said, you know, look at how I'm dressed. Very demure, very mindful. And demure and mindful have like really taken off. They've really become this big, big thing. People are talking about how I'm demure, I'm mindful and everything. People have made all these response TikToks to it and stuff. But basically, she was just saying like, you know, look at how I'm dressed, keeping it chill, a little bit low key and everything. And by and large, everything that I've seen that's come from it has been pretty positive. I know I'm not on the whole internet, but like everything I've seen is nice, which is kind of cool because usually when it comes to like TikTok as a movement or like challenges or like anything popular, it's usually not as positive. You know, most TikTok challenges or trends are mostly like, hey, y'all, watch me punch my grandma on the back of the head. It's usually something that causes harm to, you know, you or someone else for everyone's entertainment. And we watch all the time. It's like, hey, y'all, watch me while I call in this bomb threat to the Vatican. You know, like there was one thing, I don't even know, it got so bad that they would talk about TikTok trends happening that I don't even think were happening, but they were believable because all the stuff that really was happening. Like, I'm pretty sure there was one where maybe I'm falling for like a trick, but I'm pretty sure there was one TikTok trend where people just kept blowing up the urinals at the boys' bathrooms in their high schools. And I was like, man, maybe they really are lost as a generation. You know what I mean? So then you see something like Demure, and it really kills the whole, you know, the sort of generational gaps that we have. It's hard to keep pushing them away when they're being all nice and stuff. No, you see these young Gen Alpha, Gen Z just being sweet. You almost don't know how to react. You know what I mean? It starts raining. Maybe you're a boomer, and then out of nowhere, you know, this young person comes up being very demure. Pops an umbrella right over your rainy head. You just standing there like, Fox News did not prepare me for this. I don't know what to do. Thank you, I guess. This is weird. You sure you don't want to punch me in the back of the head and film it or something? Like, no, it's just nice to see like a trend that's at least like feeling mildly positive as it spreads, you know? Because a lot of them start positive and then quickly turn. And I haven't seen this one turn yet, because the whole definition of demure is like modest, shy, you know, mindfulness, obviously self-explanatory, being mindful and stuff. Because the other TikToks I've seen Jules make have also fascinated me because, you know, she'll do little stuff like she brought donuts to the hotel staff that took care of her at the end of her stay. And she was like, this is being demure. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we redefining it. I had no idea. I thought, that's cool. I'm saying because I'm happy about it, you know? And I think that's really awesome because for a long time, I didn't know if like a good trend could catch on. You know, we like deep down, whether you like it because you like it or you like it because you love to hate it, we like watching the bad stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like like Jackass would have never been a franchise if we didn't love the idea of a guy just standing there and then his friend running behind him and kicking him in the balls. Like that's, you know, We had Jackass when we were little, and that just spawned into like a different now everybody can do Jackass. Everybody was doing Jackass the whole time, by the way. It's just when we filmed it, it sort of just sat at home. Like they just became home movies. There wasn't an internet to push it out to the rest of the world with, you know? And so I don't know. I mean, I hope for those that enjoy it, it continues. I hope it doesn't, morph into a different thing, because I feel like the internet's very good at that. The internet's very good at like taking something, because it's so decentralized, like taking something that starts out very good and then morphing it to a place where, maybe 5 years from now, there's just a kid that runs up and punches his grandma in the back of the head and goes, Demure! Nah, but I hope it doesn't happen. I took an improv class when I lived in Chicago with a kid who was Buddhist, right? And he was Buddhist in a way that was very sincere. He wasn't like that. You know how sometimes when you go off to college or something and you meet someone who's like hardcore Buddhist, but they're like a white dude with dreads that's always trying to bang, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, no, I don't know if you following really. I think that you just wear the beads. I think you're disingenuous. You're just trying to use it to lower some walls, you know what I mean? How could I be bad? I summered into bed. You know what I mean? Kind of has those vibes. But my friend who I met is the person that truly fascinated me, because he was someone who had a lot of joy and a sincere joy. Not like, you know how there are people that you meet sometimes that are full of joy, but you can tell the joy is because everything's going right now. It's very circumstantial joy, right? It's like lottery winning joy, where it's like, guys, of course. He had a nice joy that wasn't swayed one way or the other by like little things happening, you know? Because the circumstantial joy I'm talking about, it gets knocked over with a feather, right? That same person that's so joyful one day, you see them the next day, they're like, get out of my way! Like it's... And that's also normal. That's part of being human, right? Like it's not normal to be happy all the time. If someone is, watch them. Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody's happy all the time, they need to be on a list. They're hiding something, right? But he had a very, very sweet and sincere joy that was calm, kind of quiet, a little bit to himself, but happy to talk to anybody, happy to engage with anybody and everything. And I think that because of who he was as a person, it sort of fascinated me what his philosophy was for life, because he didn't teach Buddhism, and he didn't think of Buddhism as a religion. He thought it more as a sort of philosophy, right? It was his answer to the psychology of his mind. And we were talking one day, because I was just sort of asking him how he came to it and everything, because he was white. And regular haircut though, like regular haircut. Like, but we were just chatting, and he was explaining, at least to the best of his understanding, the 4 noble truths to me, right? Because the first noble truth is that there is suffering in the world. And that's an undeniable thing, We all suffer in different ways for different amounts of time, Some suffering is physical. Like when you wake up in the night and you're thirsty. And you swear you know you're home. But you're walking in the dark because you don't want to wake yourself up too much with the light. And you don't sleep with shoes on. So your feet, your toes are at their most vulnerable. You get up and you're walking around, and in the kitchen, you get a little bit of that fridge light. You almost squint a little bit. That's too much. You grab your water, you pour it in your glass, take some sips, and now you got to make your way back. Halfway tired, in the dark, right? And as you're walking, maybe you're a parent. And maybe even though you know this home like the back of your hand, you don't know that there's a Lego waiting. There's a Lego waiting to be stepped on, right? There's a skateboard near some steps waiting to take you out. To put you on your ass, right? Or maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you're a bachelor. Maybe you're just living on your own as a single person, but you make your way back. And for some reason, tonight, there's just a little bit of extra width to that bed frame. And so you get close to the bed and you get ready to hop in, and then and so you suffer. No. But a lot of suffering isn't physical. A lot of suffering, genuinely is coming from a mental place. You either suffer in what you think is going to be the future, or you suffer over the past as it happened. Those things that happen that are very, very embarrassing. Maybe you hold on to a mistake that you made too tight. In your mind's eye, it's the only thing that you can focus on. And most of the time, you can shut it out. It's probably whatever you're thinking about right now. But most of the day, you're pretty good at shutting it out. But then you have a quiet moment, like in the shower. And while you're in the shower, your brain just goes, remember that time? You remember that time that everybody was like, wouldn't it be fun if we jumped in the pool, and then you just jumped in the pool, but then the other person was like, oh, I was never going to jump in the pool. So then you were just out here in the pool by yourself, and you can't swim. So then you were hoping that everybody jumping in would just mean that everyone floated a little bit higher or something. And so now you're like fighting to get to the top of the water, and then people, you can hear them be like, is he drowning? Like that. It was like a question, because you flailing so hard that everyone's like, is he drowning? And then you're like, what? These are supposed to be my friends. Why aren't they jumping in the water and help me? Do we not want to jump in the water so bad? We just want to talk about jumping in the water that no one's going to come save me right now. And so you're flailing, and then finally you just hear somebody at the party, one of your friends say, yo, stand up. And then you realize you were on the shallow end of the pool. So there's a suffering. And then, there's a suffering for the things that you think are going to happen in the future, right? Things that haven't even happened yet. Usually, it's us, because of our imagination. We're one of the only, look, this is us saying it, but as far as scientists know, we are one of the only species that has real imagination in that way. So we're some of the only things on planet Earth suffering in that particular way, right? Most things are living in the moment, right? But we're the only ones putting things onto the future that haven't even happened yet. Like, let's say you're in a relationship. And you love this person, but y'all fight from time to time. And you fight, but you love each other, and maybe it's been a long time. You've been together for a long time, so you know them. You know them deeply. You know them in a fundamental way where no one else knows them, right? So then sometimes when something happens, you can tell we're probably going to have a fight. We're probably going to have a fight because I know them, and I know what happened, and I know how they react to things. I know how I react to things, so we're probably going to have an argument, right? So then maybe you're driving home, maybe you're taking the train, maybe you're on the bus, but wherever you are, because you know there's about to be a fight, you decide to have the first fight. The first fight is in your head because you're practicing, right? Like, the first fight is you just sort of shadow boxing, right? You do it too. That's not my fault, right? Like, you just... And so the first fight, maybe things don't go so well. Maybe the first fight, because you have to imagine the whole thing, you imagine them reacting a little harsher than they might even react. Because you don't know, because you haven't been there yet. It's in the future. It hasn't happened. You have to make this thing up. But now you're suffering because you're imagining that they said something to you that was a bit too far. And they always do this. And I can't stand when you do this, right? You always, in my head, take things too far before I have the conversation with you, right? And so you get home and you already mad. You already pissed off because in your mind, you lost the first fight, right? So now when we have the first fight, I'm remembering the first fight. So now I got to get my get back from losing that first fight because they had such good logic in my head when I was fighting them before that I came ready. I'm already ready to plug up all the holes in my own argument, right? And so then, you start fighting and then you start the fight by being like, why are you yelling? And then you realize you're yelling and you're like, why am I yelling right now? And it's because you had a fight already. You had suffering you didn't even need to have. There was no reason, right? And then there's the second noble truth. The second noble truth is that there is a cause to the suffering. People, we don't just have to suffer endlessly for no reason, right? There is a cause. This is where the concept of karma comes from and everything. Because if you understand the suffering and you understand the cause, you can end it, right? It can be over, Like I have a friend who I love very much. And he has a lot of love to give. But he keeps, because he can't understand the cause, he keeps getting his heart broken. Because he keeps... Okay. He keeps getting his heart broken because he keeps trying... It's gonna sound however it sounds, but he keeps trying to save young ladies who do not like him, but do enjoy dinner, right? Do you know what I mean? Like at a certain amount of dates, I'm like, yeah, dog, I think if she liked you, she would call you sometimes. Because he's a lover, but it's I don't know if he's thinking about why he keeps feeling this way. And if it keeps happening, if the same thing keeps happening with different people who don't know each other, maybe there's a cause. And maybe the cause is something you're doing. Maybe the suffering can end. Maybe. Or maybe he's just real good at paying for dinner. I have no idea, but it seems like when I talk to him, hey, it doesn't have to be like this, right? And then there's a third noble truth. Third noble truth is that you can end the suffering. It can't, it doesn't have to go forever, right? The second one is that there's a cause, and the third one is that there will be an end, right? It doesn't have to go on forever. You can release yourself out of this sort of cycle. And then the fourth one is that there's a path. There's a path for you, a way to end the suffering, right? Which I think is great. I think that there's an answer at the end. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of religions out there that just tell you, it's pretty bad. And it will get worse. There are some Buddhist monks, right? There's some Buddhist monks in Thailand. And they're in a specific region, so I don't want you to think this is all of the Buddhist monks. But these particular Buddhist monks in this particular region of Thailand keep getting into trouble for not being very good monks. Because when you think of a monk, it's unfair, but you think of a monk the same way you think of a nun. You think of someone who has dedicated their entire life, their finances, their physical self, their spiritual well-being to the cause of whatever religion or philosophy that they've taken up, right? And that doesn't make them perfect, but it does make them seem like someone who is going to be holy or be grounded, whatever the thing is, right? And these monks are pretty rock and roll. These monks are going ham, okay? These monks are having such wild scandals. There was one temple, right? where all the monks in that temple got busted by the police for doing meth, right? And it's hard to conceptualize a methy monk, right? Because you usually think of them as calm and still, but you can't be on meth. You know, I've never seen someone do meth and then calm down, right? That's not part of it, you know? I can only imagine what that one monk who did the meth first must have told the others. You know, does a little meth and it's like, y'all, if we do this, we ain't gotta do all that sitting. Like this is about to hit, okay? You know? There was another scandal where there were some monks who basically, I say got in trouble, I think they got arrested for stealing millions of dollars in donations from people who were basically donating to, I guess, the monastery, but just generally, the same way you donate to like any church or anything like that. And that one baffled me because I thought one of the whole principles of Buddhism was like, guys, I don't need anything. Like, it's me trying to better myself, trying to get better, trying to get to the next level and everything. So to give the monks millions of dollars is asking for trouble. Like, you know what I mean? To give the monks a rapper level of money and then not expect them to live that rapper lifestyle feels like an unnecessary temptation, okay? You know, like I'm pretty low key, but if you gave me around $8 million, I might go a little wild for a day or two. You know what I mean? And it's tough. It's tough when you're a monk and then you try balling out because you in the same clothes. Do you know what I mean? Like when you roll up to a strip club, everybody know you're not supposed to be there. Like you throwing it up and making it rain, and then everybody's like, where's it even coming from? Does the robe have pockets? You know? There have even been some monks that got in trouble for straight up violence, right? Which is terrible and terrifying. But I will say, as a monk, if somebody messing with you, you do kind of have the element of surprise. Because they're sure nothing's gonna happen, right? Like you just poking a monk and poking a monk and poking a monk, and then they just hit you with that bladao. You know? And I guess it's just wild that for such I'll call it a religion or a lifestyle just for the sake of the argument, but like for such a calm, peaceful, to yourself religion of bringing yourself to the best level that you can, building an understanding of yourself and the people around you, and trying to spread good in the world. It's wild to me that this section of Buddhist monks in Thailand, all they really need is Jules LeBron to teach them how to be demure, to teach them how to be mindful. You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? You imagine this. There's a monk that's just throwing out money at the strip club and everything, and then Jules is like, not demure, not mindful.
This next one is truly special. Sony, the company Sony, the multi-billion-dollar company Sony, came out with a smart wig, and
Wait, those two words just feel like they shouldn't go together.
yeah, so it is.
What is a smart wig?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you asked.
Mm-hmm.
Because a smart wig is a wig equipped with a hidden circuit board that vibrates when you get a notification. Okay. Wait. Let me finish.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't stop. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
Okay.
All right. So when you get a notification, your head will vibrate. Oh, wait. Stop making me laugh. Stop making So your head will vibrate when you get a notification on a separate device. So it's not like someone can text your wig, because that would be stupid. This is for when you get a text message on your phone and maybe you missed it. Okay. So
Your fucking head buzzes. Ooh.
okay. Oh man.
Oh.
Okay.
Why would you want that? Oh. Because if you already have to wear a wig, just tuck the phone under your wig, man. Stick it to your head.
So the intention with it was to try to make a smartwatch for your head. So I guess in a later, if it had been successful in a later iteration, the same way that you tap your smartwatch for different apps,
Don't say it.
you
Don't you
you
fucking
could you could go ahead and hit your own head for whatever you wanted to get to, maybe your calendar or something.
Okay, is it I can't ask this question. Is it an actual wig like with hair? Or is it something you attach to the bottom of a wig?
It looks like it's a whole wig.
Oh, so does it come in different styles, different hair colors? And
I don't know if they ever got that far. But they said that the wig could also include GPS with different regions buzzing to give navigation cues.
Oh my God.
So if the right side of your head buzzed, you need to take a right.
Man, you gotta be careful that if you have your wig on wrong, you're gonna be going the wrong way. Oh.
Yeah, not only do you have your wig all wrong, but now you're in a bad neighborhood.
You're in a bad neighborhood. And you look all messed up.
You don't even look cute in this bad neighborhood you just walked in.
You're getting heckled at the very least. Oh
man. And they were also going to integrate a camera so that I guess you could see people as they roasted you when you walk by. If you wanted to watch it later when you took your wig off, if your own eyes weren't enough.
Oh.
Um, there was also
You hurt
talk,
my lungs with the smart wig. Oh.
there was also talk of including a laser pointer.
For what purpose?
So and I'm reading from the filing now, the filing of their patent. You ever had an idea that you did need a patent? You're just like, yeah, we're good. You don't need to put a patent on that pickle and peanut butter sandwich. Okay.
Stop. Stop reading for 1 second. Let me take a drink of water because I know I won't be able to. Oh.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
So in their filing, they claim that a wig is the perfect hiding place for delicate electronics.
So now it's a purse for your head.
Yeah, it's a purse for your head.
Oh. Oh.
You can keep your credit cards in it. You could keep.
You ever wish your fanny pack was strapped to your fucking forehead? Well, there you go, idiot.
All right. And then it's because humans tend to instinctively protect their heads more than other body parts. So because you block like your head first from an assault. And which here to their point, that's fair.
Oh,
No one ever gets swung on and immediately puts their hands over their pockets. All right.
Here's the thing, though. They waited too late to pitch that idea because that's an actual. Now you're pitching me an actual psychological human thing about why it's good to hide a thing in your head.
Also, it's funny because now if you get in like a cat fight at a bar, she won't just mess you up. She'll steal your identity. She'll steal all your information because she snatched that wig so fast.
Well, the other thing is too, okay, I'm assuming it's meant to be secretive. So now let's say your valuables are stored in your wig. And then just because you're going to protect your head when someone attacks you doesn't mean you're going to prevent them from hurting you. So now they potentially actually hurt you. And now also your phone's broken.
Yeah.
Because they just punched you in your phone head. So you can't call for help now.
So.
And you also just don't get to follow. Their first thing to pitch can't be like, it makes your head buzz when you get a text. Oh.
Okay. So wait. This oh God. Okay. I think this is the topper. So when they were utilizing it, I guess in beta.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was an aspect of it. I didn't even know it could do this, but I guess they made an extension to the wig. So you could, at one point, you could give presentations and switch sides by touching your sideburns.
Wait, what? Switch sides with what? What are you talking about?
So I think they hooked up the wig plus patent-made sideburns to a computer.
Okay.
And then anytime the presenter wanted to switch slides, they would just rub their sideburns to switch slides on the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I feel better now because at first, what you made me think at first was that the wig was also a projector. So you'd be in an office just beaming out the PowerPoint of your forehead. And then using your laser pointer to point at stats you want and then tapping your... Oh, good. Oh.
No,
Oh,
no.
man.
The real thing was about as dumb as that.
No, it's still dumb. I was just relieved that it was just linking up to a computer. Still though. The remote sideburns, because now it's also, if you want to use all this stuff, you gotta have a specific look.
You gotta have a specific head.
You gotta have a specific head. You basically have to look like a pimp from the 70s. Like if you you clearly need a big head of hair and big ass sideburns. You gotta look like oh my
Just
god.
imagine someone slapping their own head like update, update, update. Why won't you update?
Yeah, and I'll email that you later. I'm locked out of my wig right now, so I can't get you.
Yeah. I was sweating and caused a short circuit in my bangs. So
And what happens if it rains?
I think you get electrocuted.